Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Bhavatapa Pranashimne Ananda Ghanamurtaye Jnana Bhakti Pradayinne Matastubhyam Namo Namaha. Jai Ma, Jai Ma. Okay, now we'll come to the 4.5 crore jap. I was talking about Swami Bhaskaranji. First, let me show you his picture if you people don't know who Swamiji is. This is Swami Bhaskaranji. I hope you can see it. It's in my book. See, this whole incident is there in the book. It's not like, it's not there. And that's why I'm repeatedly again saying, get the book, read it. It's really nice. Not because I've written it, but it's a treasure. Okay. Now, I suddenly remembered something. How I was cajoled into the 4.5 crore jap. Right now, what is going on? The lockdown period, where first they tell us, okay, 21 days lockdown. It's a very bad example, but I'm telling you. Now, if initially they had told you it's 3 months lockdown, we would have all screamed and gone mad, People would have said, what nonsense, we can't stay in the house for 3 months. Similarly, I was first told, Sawa crore. I suddenly thought of that. I said, yeah, this is how he cajoled me, that when you hear 4.5 crores, you can't do it. So, Sawa crore is still a lot, but I agreed. So he told me what to do, and I was supposed to do it first thing in the morning, not, eat anything or anything. And before 12 o'clock, you're supposed to finish. Now, initially he told me, don't take a sankalp and do it. Sankalp is a vow. When you take a vow, supposing you want to do 2 malas, jap, okay? And then the second day you do 3 malas, then you have to stick to 3 malas. You can't come back to 2. In the sankalp, it's a little difficult, okay? So he said, you continue with Sawa crore and write down how much you are doing every day and don't do sankalp. And once you finish 1.25, then you give me a call and tell me. And you have to follow all the rules. See, my food was very frugal that time. And I used to sit in the mandir. Sometimes I used to sleep in the mandir also, I was on a high. Okay, so it took me a long time to do 1.25, but when I finished, I called him up thinking, it's done, I've achieved it. And I called him up after that 1.25 was over. So I said, Swamiji, it's over. So he says, it's over? So I said, yes. He said, okay, tell me, what did you do? So I said, okay, I did this, I did that, in a day I was doing so many japs and, so many malas, and this is how I did it and all that. He said, very, very good, wonderful, wonderful. Now do one thing, now do 1.25 again, one more. I said, again? So he says, yeah, it's not a big deal, So you finished 1.25, now you continue with another 1.25. I said, wow, it's not the end of it. I have to still do it. So I said, okay, Swamiji, I'll do it. So again I started. So it was 1.25, now 1.25 again. So it comes to 2.5 and I finish. So again I started, again I did it was a high. And you can't imagine, friends, when you do things like this, the kind of experiences you get. I had outer body experience also. In the puja, I thought I was in a different world. It was a different world altogether, where there are lots of experiences, but they are experiences. And those experiences, you don't have to hang on to them. You have to move on. It's not like, I got that experience, so I'm great now. No, it's not like that. Those experiences are to push you forward, to give you an impetus that now move forward, which was happening. So when I finished that 1.25, again I gave a call. He said, oh, you did it? It's wonderful. Now do 1.25 again. And this time, take a sankalp. The last bit, whatever was left. So it wasn't 1.25. If I've done 2.5, then again, like, we have to reach 4.5. So, whatever the balance was, he told me, now take a sankalp. Now, that is difficult. I said, sankalp? He says, yes, means a vow. So I said, what are the rules involved? He says, you have to do it in such a way that you know what you're doing. And if you increase your jap, you cannot go back. You have to continue with that amount of jap. So I took it on and I said, okay, I'll do it that way. Whatever Swamiji said, I would do, period, So he was my Acharya Guru. He gave me Diksha. So I said, okay, I'll do it. And I went on. Now you know what happened. In my excitement and in my that fervor that I had, that yes, I want to do it, I halfway, I think, midway, I started doing 1 lakh jap a day. It took me like 5.5 hours to do 1 lakh jap. Now, in my excitement, when I did 1 lakh jap a day, it was not easy. My hands would pain like you can't believe. All these nerves that you see, all the veins and the nerves, they would be swollen, the hands would be swollen. My fingers would be paining, because I'm doing the mala. And my wrist would be swollen. So, you see all these Mahatmas and yogis who have this wooden stick and they put their hand on that and do bam bam bole, they do all that. So, I used to have that stick and rest my hand thinking that, some way, if I can get some rest and my hand stops paining. My mother used to rub Iodex every day and I used to tie this tight bandage after my jap was over. She used to tie it really tight and see that the swelling is gone, but the swelling, supposing it's gone for half an hour also, next day it's back because again I'm doing 1 lakh jap. It used to pain so much, I can't tell you, but I said, no way, let the hand break, but I'm going to do it. So I would call up Swamiji, he was like a father figure to me. I would say, Swamiji, my hand is paining, it's swollen, my fingers are swollen, it's paining too much, it's paining. I would do that to him. And he would say, it doesn't matter. With abhyas, with dedication and with practice, it will all go away. Abhyas se sab chala jayega, he would tell me. I said, Swamiji, yes, I'm sure that abhyas se jayega. He said, it's all about abhyas. Abhyas karo, sab theek ho jayega. I said, okay. So again, I would be at it, It went on. Now, I have already started doing 1 lakh jap, right? I can't go back. So today, supposing it's paining too much, and I'll say, no, I'll just do 99, I won't do 1 lakh, It doesn't work like that. So you have to continue that way. My mother gave me a lot of encouragement. She says, continue, don't break it, continue. And you have some support. You have support in your house. I had a Brahmin Pandit, which I had mentioned earlier also. He would also call me up and say, fantastic, you're doing it, fantastic, you're doing it. So I had that kind of support system. Now comes the last 11 days when, it's just 11 days left for my 4.5 to get over. My mother falls down in the house. She's walking in the passage and she falls. And she has a major femur fracture. And I was in a dizzy. I immediately had to call up the doctor. I called one of Ma's devotees who was living in Bombay. Now she's not in Bombay. And I said, please come and help me. My mother has fallen and I don't know what's wrong with her. I have to call the doctor and we'll see what it is. The doctor comes and says, take her immediately to the hospital, call for an ambulance, and she's got a femur fracture. I said, oh my God. And we had to rush her to the hospital. She was in excruciating pain, She was rushed to the hospital. We went there and the doctor, I think it was a Saturday. And the doctor said that till Monday, I can't do surgery on her. This is a surgery case. And it's a very delicate case because your mother is suffering from osteoporosis. My mother had osteoporosis, where the bones become like wafer. So he said it's a very difficult surgery and we don't know whether we'll be able to help her out or not. But we can't do surgery till Monday. And I said, today is like Saturday. 2 days with this pain, how will she go on? So he said, no, we'll give her painkillers and we'll put her in traction. And that was so painful for my mother. It was so painful. And my cook who's doing this video just now, she's sitting right in front of me. Her name is Bharti. She was there in the hospital to help me out and, help my mother and all that. She's been in my house since she was 6 years old. Today, her daughter is 20 years old. So, she's the one who's doing the video and she's looking at me. So, I said, now what do I do? I was in the hospital with my mother. Now my job is left. I have to finish that 1 lakh and all that. What happens for 3 days? And these are the last 11 days, mind you, You know what my mother tells me? She says, you don't worry about me. You just go home. Do not break your sankalp. That was my mother. Very rarely you get people like that. So I said, no, Mom, I'm going to be with you. You don't worry. Even if it breaks, I'll do it all over again. She says, no way. I will not take it. You go home. I said, no. So what I would do is, whole day I would be in the hospital. And whole night I would come and do japa. Till dawn. Till early morning I would be doing that. 3 days and 4 nights I did not sleep. And I was exhausted, It was like no sleep at all. In the morning I would just, get up from my puja, splash water, have a bath and run to the hospital. The 3rd or 4th day, after the surgery was done and she was okay, she came through that, that surgery was okay for her and everything went well with Ma's grace. I came home and I don't know what happened. I was so exhausted because I hadn't slept. Day, night, it was just going on. I said, okay, I'm so exhausted. Let me just shut my eyes for 2 minutes. I sat on the floor and put my head on my bed like this. And I dozed off. My japa was still balanced, I dozed off and suddenly when I got up, I said, God, what did I do? 1 hour had gone by. And I said, I wasted 1 hour in sleeping. I couldn't have done that, I was feeling so guilty. I ran, splashed cold water on my face and all and started my japa. That is how I finished my last 11 days and I finished my 4.5 crore. All thanks to Ma. Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma. All thanks to her that I was able to do it. I came home. Then my mom was, when she was discharged, she came home. And she asked me, the first thing she asked me, did you break your sankalpa? I said, no, I did not, And once it was over, then I called up Swamiji and I said, Swamiji, I have done it. It's 4.5. He said, tell me, how did you do it? So I said, finally, I came to 1 lakh japa and this is what happened. And I narrated the whole story to him. And he says, very good, I'm very happy. It's wonderful that you were able to do it. Much later, I was once talking to Swami Nityanand Giri because Swami Nityanand Giri was the one who gave me my Sannyas Diksha. He was my Acharya Guru because that time Swami Bhaskaran Ji wasn't there. And Swami Bhaskaran Ji was the one who initiated my Sannyas Diksha, which again is in the book. So, and finally the actual ritual and the, completion of that was done by Swami Nityanand Giri. So one day Nityanand Giri was telling me, I told him, he says, look how many people Ma has, given encouragement to do the 4.5 crore japa. And this one did it, that one did it, that one did it. So I said, Swamiji, even I have done it. So he just looked at me and he says, you've done it? I said, yes. He said, oh. He said, do you know what Ma had said? I said, no, I know that she said all the past karmas get wiped off. He said, not just that. She has also said there is no rebirth. You can't imagine how I screamed over there. I was so thrilled. I was jumping away and I said, Swamiji, you made my day. Are you sure she said that? And he said, yes, I know that she said that, So that was that. Now we have to see whether I come back or I don't come back. I have no idea. It all depends on Ma. So Jai Ma for today. Thank you. And Om Bhavatab Pranashinne Ananda Ghanamurtaye Jnana Bhakti Pradayinne Matastubhyam Namo Namaha. Bolo Shree Shree Ma Anandamayee ki Jai. Bolo Purna Brahma Narayani Shree Shree Ma Anandamayee ki Jai.